What's up YouTube, this is Bison X79 guys. Today I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile video for March 2020, and as you see today we're going to be doing my Shaddoll Invoked deck profile. Alright, now this deck has been gaining popularity on the tournament scene ever since the release of the Shaddoll structure deck, and to be very honest, yeah, the deck can set up some pretty damn awesome boards that can restrict what your opponent can do. One special summon per turn, one attack per turn, one monster effect per turn, and anything else can be negated. That's pretty damn awesome. Yeah, throw in the fact that this deck can put out some beat sticks that can actually just tear apart any monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. Yeah, now we're really taking a look at a deck that can seriously put your opponent in check and then go in for the kill whenever you needed to go in for the kill. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to get right into this deck. Okay. 3 copies of Alistair the Invoker. Standard for this deck. 2 effects. It has a hand trap effect, which allows you to power boost your fusion monsters that you target with his effect by 1,000 attack and defense, which is actually pretty good. It can help keep certain monsters on the field. Furthermore, when you summon this guy, you're searching your deck for the Invocation fusion spell to add to your hand. So this guy does double duty. He's pretty key in all the invoked fusions, so you're going to want to have 3 copies, and you definitely want to be seeing him in your opening hand. Now, Shaddoll Ariel, we're only using her for a flip effect, and the flip effect is basically when you flip her face up, you get to special summon a Shaddoll monster from your banish zone in either face down defense position or face up defense position. Alright, depending on what you need to do, it gives you that option. We don't really utilize her for her sent to the graveyard effect, but if that happens, you can banish up to 3 Shaddoll cards from your graveyard out of it. So, one copy Perform Mage Strickland. Whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to target a Perform Mage monster in your graveyard, special summon it back to the field. The attack and defense are bottom up to 0, and you take 1,000 points of effect damage, but hey, you're getting an additional body on the field to either build into another link or a fusion with, so definitely worth having. Alright. Perform Mage, Damage Juggler. Alright. This guy is pretty damn awesome in his own right. 2 quick effects. The first one, discard a card from your hand when your opponent's trying to hit you with effect damage. You can negate the effect and destroy the card that's triggering that effect damage. Pretty awesome. The second one basically is another quick effect that allows you to basically reduce the damage you receive from battle to 0, buying you additional turns and just preventing blowouts. The last effect has, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish from the graveyard and add another Perform Mage monster from your deck to your hand, which is actually pretty good. Doesn't come up as often, but it's there if you need it. Three copies of Shaddoll Windy. Alright, Windy is actually pretty awesome. Her flip effect basically allows you to special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck to the field, either in face up defense position or face down defense position, whatever you need. Okay. Her sent to the graveyard by card effect allows you to do basically the same thing, except this special summoning the Shaddoll monster to the field face down. Alright, so typically you want to be using that secondary effect during your opponent's turn, just to get an additional body on the board. Alright. For the rest of the Shaddolls, you have Shaddoll Beast. What can I say? This is a consistency boosting card. Whether you use the flip effect or send to the graveyard effect, you're getting drawing additional cards. Shaddoll Dragon. Flip effect, you're getting a compulsory evacuation device effect, bouncing a monster off the field, which is actually pretty good. Sent to the graveyard effect, you're popping back row. Shaddoll Hedgehog. It's the searcher of the deck. Its flip effect allows you to search for Shaddoll spells and traps, while its sent to the graveyard effect allows you to search for other Shaddoll monsters. Alright. And last but not least, we got 3 copies of Shaddoll Squamata. Alright, Squamata, its flip effect allows you to target any card in the field to destroy it, and then sent to the graveyard effect is basically a foolish burial effect to send other Shaddoll cards to the graveyard. Alright, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, deck is pretty heavy on dark attributes, so Allure of Darkness, additional draw, see more of your combo pieces. Called by the Grave, this deck does fall kind of hard to hand traps, so anti-hand trap card. Of course, you could also utilize this card in mirror matches, so definitely something to keep in mind. Alright. 3 copies of El Shaddoll Fusion. I mean, fusion summon during your opponent's turn, get that window on the field. Restrict them to 1 fusion summon per turn, so definitely, or 1 special summon per turn, excuse me. And yeah. Foolish Burial. Get other cards from your deck into the graveyard. Alright. 3 copies of Instant Fusion. Pay 1,000 life points. You're getting a fusion level 5 or lower fusion monster onto the field, so you can start your plays off even better. Use the fusion monster for link summoning or even other fusion summons. You get the idea. Definitely a good go-to starting card that you want to see in your opening hand. Only 2 copies of Invocation. I feel that this running 3 isn't a good idea, primarily because this deck does run a lot of spells, and opening with a lot of spells and not that many monsters can put you in a pretty bad position. The other reason why is that this card can actually recur itself back into the deck and restore the card that searches it, Alistair, back to your hand. So, really, in theory, you only don't need a max 3 copies. 2 is more than enough. Alright, 3 copies of Magical Meltdown. Alright, Meltdown's pretty damn awesome. Searches out Alistair, which then can search out Invocation, so you get the whole chain right there. Can also protect your fusion summons from your opponent's responses, which is actually pretty damn awesome. 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion. This is my favorite fusion spell in the entire deck. Hand or field on your starting turn to get out a Shaddoll Fusion, which is actually pretty good. Going second, it gets even better, because if your opponent controls a special summon monster from the extra deck, guess what, guys? You're using monsters in your main deck as fusion materials, excuse me. And that can actually just set off a whole ton of other effects. And to be very honest, I really love that aspect of this deck. Alright. 1 copy of Shaddoll Incarnation. Basically, it's like a back to the front style trap card where it special summons a Shaddoll monster back to the field in defense position, either face up or face down. While this card's in the graveyard, you can actually then banish it and then toggle the battle positions of your face up Shaddolls, either put them in face down defense position or put them face up. Alright, so if you need additional effects for a monster that you might have summoned face down out of your deck with off of Wendy, you can use this guy in the graveyard. You get the idea. Alright, for the extra deck, 2 copies of El Shaddoll Winda. I'm using the OG copy because I like this artwork a little bit better. All the old school Shaddoll fusion monsters, when they are sent from the field to the graveyard, you're getting back a Shaddoll spell or trap to add to your hand. Alright, that's what the old school Shaddoll fusions do. Winda, she's pretty much amazing. She has an awesome continuous effect, which restricts both players to only 1 special summon per turn. Just being able to drop this during your opponent's turn with El Shaddoll Fusion just hurts so much. Alright. Alright. 2 El Shaddoll Construct. Okay. Construct hits the field. She sends another Shaddoll card from your deck to your graveyard, so you can load your graveyard up a little bit with resources that you need. Alright. And whenever she's on the field and she attacks a monster with special summon from the extra deck, she automatically pops it. She also has a 2000 attack point body, so yeah, she can be very difficult to deal with depending on the situation that you're in. Alright, the new fusion on the block, El Shaddoll Apocalypse. I probably butchered that name, but still. This card can't be destroyed by battle. Awesome. When it's fusion summoned, you target 1 card on the field and basically negate its effects until the targeted card leaves the field. Huge. And unlike the old school fusions, this card can actually allow you to either recur any Shaddoll card from your graveyard or search any Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand. So, really awesome that this card came out like that. Alright, for the Invoked fusions, Invoke Caliga. This card plus Winder just hurts your opponent so bad. Caliga basically limits your opponent to using one monster effect and one attack per turn. Add that into the one special summon that Winder gives you, you get the idea. Alright, 1800 defense with Alistair in hand, you boost up to 2800, so it's not that easy to get over. Alright, Invoked Raijin, excuse me. Raijin, awesome card. You can flip any card face down, including yourself, so you can pretty much dodge instant fusion's destruction effect during the end phase if you need to. Otherwise, you're just turning off monsters that could be problematic. Invoked Purgatrio. Oh man, this card is an OTK machine. Especially if your opponent has Ash Blossom in the graveyard, just drop Invocation, use your Alistair and their Ash Blossom. Yeah, get this guy out and you just start swinging for defenses. 2 copies of Invoked Mechaba. Alright, Mechaba is your primary negate. For this deck, get this card on the field alongside Winder and Caliga, and all of a sudden now you can negate monster effects, spell effects, or even trap effects. So you're pretty in a good position to deal with your opponent. Alright, last fusion monster and an instant fusion target, 1000 Ice Restrict. Basically, target one of your opponent's monsters, equip it, and then basically what you're going to do is you're going to link it off into Link Kuriboh, taking off a problematic monster, giving us opening up another space on your field to go into other plays. Link Kuriboh is definitely a good card to have on the field. Tribute it, you can bottom out your opponent's attack and defense, making it a little bit easier to deal with more problematic monsters. Link 2, Cross Sheep. I mean, pretty standard in a lot of particular decks, especially fusions, because when you fusion summon into a zone this card points to, you're getting back a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard back onto the field, which, again, additional bodies means additional plays to make. Alright, Link 3, Topological Trisbania. What can I say? Special summon to the zone this card points to, wipe out back row, so it's pretty much in there to go after back row heavy decks. Altergeist, in particular, come to mind. And then, of course, last but not least, I'm using Appaloosa, but you could actually utilize Borrelsword or even Borrellow Dragon in this deck as well. Basically, any level 4 or Link 4 monster that could actually basically cause problems for your opponent by either breaking their boards, taking their life points down to 0, or putting an additional negate on the board is just awesome. Alright. Guys, this is it for my Invoked Shaddoll deck for the March 2020 format, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any uploads. Check out the description box below. Find the invite link to my Discord server. Join the conversation. We'd love to have you. Follow me on social media. Those links are also in the description box. And if you guys shop on TCGplayer.com, please use my TCG Player affiliate link.